Did you hear that? Did you hear that before the thunder?
What was it?
There is a drone around us somewhere.
There's definitely a drone around.
Did you hear that?
What did it do?
I heard.
All I have in this world is my laws, my word, and I don't break them for no.
Rightio legends, Chaos Chronicles, and we're back again with another banger. And so today we are doing a Dezi Freeman update, as the Daily Mail has just done an update saying that it changes what we all think. So we're going to jump in there and have a look. But guys, I am in the middle of editing my documentary style video of the weekend that I just spent at Paw Punker. So watch this space. There is a lot of stuff on there that is going to make you scratch your head and think, what the bloody hell is actually going on here? So, but rightio, this is the Daily Mail's newest and latest update. Let's get into it.
We're being guided today by a longtime friend of Dezi Freeman's. They didn't want to appear on camera for fear of backlash. However, they have agreed to take us through Mount Buffalo in the exact route that they believe Dezi has taken. Marley, however, has become a recluse. She spends her days at home with her other two children, barely venturing past her front door. Dezi Freeman has now been missing for more than 3 months. But with the Mount Buffalo area now open, fresh information has emerged about his exact whereabouts directly after the deadly ambush that killed 2 officers that day. My name is Jonica Bray. I'm a senior reporter for the Daily Mail, and I'm currently in Paw Punker. New details of a phone ping have emerged, and that completely changes the timeline of what happened next. On the day of the incident, officers arrived to serve Freeman with a warrant relating to historic child abuse allegations. What unfolded was shocking and violent confrontation. 2 officers were shot dead, allegedly at the hands of Dezi, before he fled into the bush surrounding his remote family camp. At the time, Dezi was living in a converted bus with his wife Marley, their 15-year-old son, and a toddler. Daily Mail understands that after the shots were fired, Marley and her 2 children made their way across the field from the compound that they were living in. Now, it's believed that they travelled along this same road that I'm on now, and at some point along the way, they made contact with her oldest son, Koa.
So, if you guys remember in my very earliest videos, this is exactly what I said that would have happened. And now this is all coming out that this is what has happened. But what has blown my mind is that I actually spoke about this with people on the weekend about this is how I think that Dezi escaped. And after going there and seeing the area, seeing how close the airport was, how close it was to the swimming hole where it's alleged that the SA happens. So I actually, this is exactly what I thought. And I spoke to somebody about this. It's blown my mind that this reporter has come out and said this stuff today, just the day after I was speaking about this exact thing. And this is exactly why you want to watch my video when I drop it. I'm trying to edit it as quick as I can. It will be out hopefully tomorrow, if not the next day.
Who met them just up here, where he then took them all into hiding. Within an hour of them fleeing the scene, this entire area and mountain was swarming with authorities. And that's when Australia's biggest manhunt began. Since that day, Marley has kept quiet. I saw her while in Paw Punker, and she seems to be going about her everyday life as the manhunt for her husband continues. But friends tell us behind that facade, she is a broken woman. Marley has no idea if her husband is dead or alive, or when any of this will ever end. Daily Mail has received some new information that suggests that Dezi's last ping of his phone actually wasn't at the compound, but it was from a second location shortly after. And that second location was the local airfield. Whilst authorities haven't officially confirmed this, it is believed that this was the last digital trace of Dezi Freeman before he switched off his phone entirely. We can also reveal that this airspace has a live webcam, and that webcam wasn't disabled when the manhunt was taking place. We monitored that webcam on a regular basis, and
And so did I, Jonica. So you're making out as if it's 24-hour CCTV footage. You can see the whole airport. It's not. So it's a updating file. So every few minutes or few hours, it updates, and it updates at different times during the day. It updates at four different spots on that airport, and yeah, anyone can get access to that CCTV footage.
often saw heavy manpower in this area. Obviously, they were searching for Dezi Freeman, but in addition, for his phone. It was the last known area, and no doubt it held vital clues. Recently, there have been claims that Dezi has been spotted in South Africa. So before we move on, let's address those claims. There is no credible evidence that he ever left Australia. There is no doubt that Dezi is a formidable force in the bush. He spent years living off-grid. He was committed doomsday prepper. He almost certainly built and hid bunkers stocked with essentials, food, machetes, knives, basic survival tools. But that's exactly what they were, essential for bush survival, not international escape. Dezi was a simple man who preferred the isolation of mountains. He feared authorities would one day come for him, not because he was a criminal mastermind, but because of ongoing court battles, everything from unpaid speeding fines to his outspoken anti-vax beliefs. But what happened that day was an unexpected chain of events. He did not have a burner phone ready, charged, and with a SIM card. He did not have the connections needed to flee the country, and he certainly did not have the network of support that organized criminals rely on to disappear overseas.
And see, I'm just going to intervene there and say that although he may not have the connections that criminals have, I can assure you, after spending the whole weekend in Pawnpunka, this guy has more connections than we ever believed. Like, I'm talking, we were getting followed around Pawnpunka and everything. And the way that following, the way that they got us to get to somewhere was crazy. They contacted me on this page and said that you'll be able to find somebody here to talk to at this time, and so we went there at a different time because I've always thinking outside the box, and there was nobody there. And you can guarantee it that we've seen the same car all day every day, and quite possibly the same car followed me all the way home. This is why you have to watch my update of Dezi Freeman.
I'm not saying those people don't exist, that they wouldn't want to help Dezi, but the man was uncontactable from this point onwards. All available evidence points to one conclusion, that Dezi Freeman was prepared to survive on the mountain he loved, not start a new life somewhere else. And that's why we're here today, using the new evidence to retrace the steps that Dezi most likely took to get up into the mountain that he knew better than anybody else. So we're being guided today by a longtime friend of Dezi Freeman's. They didn't want to appear on camera for fear of backlash. However, they have agreed to take us through Mount Buffalo in the exact route that they believe Dezi has taken. If you take a look at this map, here is the Rainer track. That's the road that leads from Dezi's compound. And we know that he's traveled across here.
So I also have footage from being up there as well, and Yeah, also another reason why you're definitely going to be wanting to, if you haven't already subscribed, guys, jump down there, shoot me a subscription, because the content dropping this week is going to be next level.
And here is the airspace, the Porpunka airspace, where it's believed that his phone last pinged. Now, not far from there is the Sinclair waterhole, which is where the friend tells us they think that Dezi has entered into Mount Buffalo with hopes of getting higher. As you can see, there is no shortage of drinking water, plenty of fresh streams and swim holes. This swim hole here that we've just entered is one of Dezi's favourite spots to spend his spare time.
And it is also the spot where they allege that the essay, they're saying that there was sexual assault that happened, and that's why they were doing the warrant at Desi's house when this incident took place. Now, this is the exact watering hole where they say that took place, and I also have footage on my documentary of this watering hole.
Such a stunning area, one that's now always probably going to be overshadowed with the tragedy that happened here. I don't think that anybody's going to be able to mention Mount Buffalo and not immediately think of Dezi Freeman and the ambush and the lives that were lost that day. There are a number of tracks that Dezi could have taken to get right into the heart of Mount Buffalo, and some of those tracks are known to very few people. You know, Dezi's been in this area for most of his life, and whilst he was living in the bus in Rainer Track, that's not the only property that he has been in. He's lived on a number of properties in this area. I mean, the police have obviously faced a lot of criticism for the amount of money and time that this manhunt has cost. The figures are expected to be around 100 million by the time this thing wraps up, and still no sign of Dezi. Despite millions of dollars spent on Australia's largest manhunt, his whereabouts remains a mystery. After months of searching, there are just 3 possibilities that remain. Number 1 is that Dezi's son, Koa, has spoken before and believes that his father is likely taking his own life. Dezi has always maintained that he wanted to die and be buried on the mountain that he loves, and it seems the most obvious explanation, but no trace of him has been found. Koa actually went back to work just a short time after the ambush happened and seems to have carried on with life as normal. His mum, Marley, however, has become a recluse. She spends her days at home with her other 2 children, barely venturing past her front door. She's living a sad and lonely life. The second possibility is that Dezi is here, still living on the bush and on the run, and somehow managing to stay one step ahead of authorities. And the final possibility is that after cutting off his phone and leaving absolutely no way to trace him, Dezi went in an entirely different direction, moving under the cover of darkness with a mammoth head start. He could realistically be anywhere in Australia.
And that's exactly what I think happened. I think that he'd done the from Sinclair's across the airport and see you later. All he would have had to do was have that little bit of a head start, and then they would never have found him. And that's what I believe has happened exactly. So, yeah, there you go. It is a little bit bonkers that Jonica is talking about that stuff today, and I was only discussing this with somebody yesterday whilst we were there. I did not see Johnny Cabray or anyone like that, but I can tell you some very suspicious stuff was going on, and I got some awesome, awesome footage. So I'm going to try my best to have a video out by tomorrow, which is Tuesday. If it's not out by Tuesday, it'll definitely be out by Wednesday. And yeah, you definitely got to watch this, guys, because it is absolutely bonkers. And the amount of support that this guy has in that area has actually blown my mind. And yeah, so it's a definite watch this space. I tried to get a video out and done. I've only just recently got home and got this done for you guys, but I'll be editing my butt off to get this video out for you tomorrow. But like I said, if not tomorrow, will definitely be Wednesday. And trust me, you definitely want to watch this space. And I promise you, this trip is only the start of this whole thing. So I have made myself some very, very unique contacts in this trip. And as a matter of fact, um, someone a lot closer to home to Desi than anyone has got before. And so these people have reached out to me, and I'm going to have a chat with them people and see what we can find out. So this is, if you guys haven't already subscribed, this is the time. Jump down there, shoot me a subscription. That'd be absolutely appreciated. And if you smash that bell icon, you'll never miss any of my clips again. And also one last thing before I go. So the workers that were at that property asked me to pass on a message to everybody. So the Desi's property, so the workers that are there doing a working bee or whatever have asked me to pass on a message and ask if nobody can go there. There is nothing to be seen there. You can't get in there. Your drones cannot fly there. Trust me, I know that for a fact, and you will see in the video why. But I've just passed on the message. So, all right, guys, I am the Chaos Chronicles. You guys are absolutely awesome. And as always, don't do drugs and crime and you won't end up in prison. We out. Wait, did you hear that? Did you hear that before the thunder?
What was it?
There is a drone around us somewhere.
There's definitely a drone around.
Did you hear that?
What did it do?
I heard